cake? Is it like a sheet, half sheet, a circle? What is it?
You know way too much about cakes.
You stick a cake up there, it's going to get bounced around anyway. It's going to be a mess by the time you get where you're going.
Gotcha.
So at the end of the flight, you'll have a smushed cake. Would you like a smushed cake, Miss Cake Expert?
I mean, cake is a cake.
I know, as long as it's chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Nassau Morning Madhouse. Weekday mornings at 9.
Yeah.
On the voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
You know the feeling when you hear sounds of hip-hop and reggae? Well, you're in for a treat. It's flavorful, extraordinary, and mind-blowing.
It's saucy.
Tune into It's Saucy, where I cook up and dish out the latest news in hip-hop and reggae. There will be interviews with artists and students, along with trending topics on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. This is your voice for all things saucy.
Ooh, saucy.
You don't want to miss out. This is DJ Steph. Listen to me on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's so loving. She's so comforting. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Toast, Instagram star, and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Start yours today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
90.3 WHPC. Greg Allman passed away on Saturday at the age of 69. He had a good life, though. You know?
A great life.
You know? He was married to Cher. I mean, that's a party right there. But he had some health issues, and the fact that he made 69 is probably more of a miracle than anything.
He was born a rambling man, you know.
Yeah, he didn't write that, though. Dickie Betts wrote that.
Doesn't matter.
So he wrote Whipping Post, or at least sings Whipping Post, which we were just hearing the beginning of. Anyway, you're listening to From the Press Box. I am Rob Leonard. He is Tim Leonard, and yes, we are brothers. And today we celebrate our third anniversary of being on the air. We came on the air on Memorial Day in 2014. And on the phone with us, we think, is our first guest ever calling in. We're not sure. JP, do you remember if you were the first guest we had on?
I don't know. I'd have to, what would Francesca say? Check the tapes.
Except they destroy the tapes over there because everything he says is wrong.
Well,
just talk to Chernoff, okay?
Yeah. They have tapes somewhere, you know, or someone else taped them. You know?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Not according to Mushnick.
The fanatics, all the fanatics.
Yeah, there's fanatics out there taping them, and plus all the years they were on MSG. So,
well,
yes.
According to my boy Mushnick, there is now a website that tapes all of Francesca's shows and will play stuff back if he tells lies like he is kind of prone.
Well, what happens with him is he'll say something he doesn't know what he's talking about, and then someone calls him up and says you're wrong, and then he doesn't care.
He doesn't admit to it.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm sorry. What am I supposed to know everything? Anyway, on the phone with us, JP Pelzman. He is a beat writer for Rutgers over at the Asbury Park Press, and we believe he was the first call in. It was either you or Christy. I forgot which one, but we'll say it's you because why not? And
thank you.
Yeah, and we love you. You've been on many times, and we glad you're calling in. Timmy's hair. I don't know if you see it on Facebook. Timmy's hair looks like
I got rained on. That's why.
Yeah, it's really flat. Timmy's hair's usually popped up if you're looking on Facebook, but it's not today for some reason. I don't know why.
Because it's rain.
But JP used to be the Jets beat writer, which, of course, is always a fun thing to talk about. So let's talk some Jets, because you still, I'm sure, follow the Jets. You still have your connections and stuff like that. Do you think the Jets had a good draft? I mean, it was a little while ago, but, we haven't talked to you about it.
Well, hey, I think they certainly needed help in the secondary. I mean, I don't know if I would have drafted safeties in both of the first two rounds, but obviously that first Jamal Adams seems like the secondary version of Leonard Williams, like a guy that they didn't think would be there at 6, and then once he's there at 6, you just have to take him. I mean, Leonard Williams, they took a couple years ago at 6, the defensive lineman. I don't know. A lot of people, I'll tell you this, guys, a lot of people are saying, they should start, I'm hearing this take already, they should start both safeties right off the bat. I'm like, I don't know if you want to start two rookie safeties in a pass-happy league. I mean, I know Calvin Pryor's not very good, but I don't know if I want to start two rookie safeties from day one. Maybe start Adams and ease the other guy in a little bit. But
hey, it's the Jets. Why not?
Yeah, really.
Oh, why not? I mean, you know what? Let's put it this way. I mean, again, I know everyone's like, oh, let's just start Hackenberg. You know what? Whatever you may think of his coaching acumen, Todd Bowles is trying to save his job. So,
that's true.
I mean, 3-13 isn't going to cut it. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know what the threshold would be for him to stay, but I know this much. I mean, he's trying to get a few wins on the board because if he's 4-12 or 3-13, he's looking for work.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm kind of curious about as far as that goes. Is what has he been guaranteed beyond this season? Because it's pretty much a given that the Jets are going to win at most, to me, 5 games. So does that mean that Todd Bowles is on his way out, or are they going to give him some time to see, you know, what the rebuild is going to be, and, you know, have a shot at a legitimate quarterback in next year's draft?
Well, that's a great question too, because I mean, I saw with Woody. I mean, he should not be allowed to speak. Basically, he said something like he just wants to see improvement every week. What is this, T-ball or something? I mean, I want to see improvement, you know. But again, maybe that's his yardstick. Maybe if they look like less of a mess in December, then maybe Bowles gets to stay. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't know what the parameters are. Obviously, he's not making the parameters public, and you know what? I don't even think he knows what they are. Let's face it. He's one of those guys that kind of he makes it up as he goes along. I mean, I'll never forget when I was on the beat. I mean, Eric Mangini looked as safe as you could be. Then they lost 4 of their last 5, and he was gone.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I mean, I don't know. Mangini, it seemed like that was almost kind of a foregone conclusion. But with Bowles, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of strange because last season there were so many injuries. It almost was like you can't really assess Bowles' performance because pretty much every main guy they had on the team got hurt. So how do you put that on the coach? How do you say, well, yeah, you didn't do your job well, or we're gonna just, you know, let you go because, you know, it would be to me like letting Terry Collins go. I mean, how many injuries have the Mets had over the last 2 seasons? How do you assess Terry Collins, or how do you threaten Terry Collins' job when the Mets have had 6 or 7 or 8 players on the DL at any one moment?
Well, exactly, and I will say this: I don't think Bowles is a good in-game coach, guys. But I mean, last year he had nothing to work with. What bothered me about last year? Don't get me wrong. I understand Fitz was not very good, but I saw somebody write this week. I won't say the person's names. It's not somebody you ever had on the air. Let's put it that way. But it certainly wasn't Kimberly. But somebody said last year that, and I know Fitzpatrick said those kind of silly things last week when he signed on elsewhere. But he says somebody said that he had an astounding 17 interceptions last year. So sort of 17 picks astounding. I mean,
kind of a weird word for it.
Yeah, Namath was through 28. Eli's thrown like the high 20s.
Yeah.
But my point is, don't get me wrong, Fitz was not good last year, but I felt like, okay, if you could bench Fitz, which they should have, why didn't they ever bench Darrelle Revis? Can somebody explain that to me? What, just reputation?
I read a story, in fact, it might have even been yesterday, that said that Darrelle Revis played the most defensive snaps on the Jets last season.
Correct.
And that's an embarrassing stat for the
really
coaches. Like, never mind for Revis, for the coaches to keep running him out there as bad as he obviously was.
Yeah, because and why Bowles didn't remove him, I don't know, because again, the one pass. Well, see, it's funny. I'll give him a pass on one thing, but I can't give him a pass for not taking him out of the lineup. But Revis really, and I don't think this is written enough, Tim, Rob, that Revis really hamstrung Bowles last year because he likes to blitz, he likes to bring pressure, and all of a sudden he had a guy who used to be a lockdown guy that was the opposite. That was a liability. You couldn't leave him alone. And so that took like one of his weapons basically in his play calling arsenal out the window. Yeah. But again, I can't really feel sorry for Todd when he could have just said, Darrelle, you're not, you're playing, 20 snaps, or you're playing in nickel. But you know what, guys? They did this before. I mean, the year before, Antonio Cromartie, we'll just talk about his on-field stuff. We won't get into the
baby making.
Yeah. But he was pretty terrible, and he never got benched. At some point, and I think this is an organizational thing, guys, seriously, and this is maybe something we need, you can talk about, discuss amongst yourselves or whatever, but so to speak. But the Patriots, you know what, when somebody, pardon my French, sucks, the Patriots get rid of him or they bench him. The Jets seem to have this, keeping up appearances thing. And it doesn't matter who the GM or coach is. I've seen it through many regimes, well, we'll just pretend he's still good.
Yeah, I mean, because last year, obviously, or last season, Revis went from being Revis Island to Toast Revis.
Yeah.
To use another nickname for a former cornerback in the New York area.
Are we shocked that Fitzpatrick signed with Tampa Bay?
No, because he got $3 million. That's standard backup money.
Yeah, and he's not any worse than any backups out there. I'll tell you what, I think he and his agent Jimmy Sexton, as Tim Tebow would call him, Mr. Sexton.
Yes.
I thought they played that badly last year because as much of a veteran as Fitz is, I do think you need some kind of, spring practice, especially with a bunch of young receivers. I just think that it was a bad setup. But you know what? The Jets played into it because they played it out as long as they could, and obviously they had no confidence in Geno. They didn't want to start him.
I thought it was really bad they waited so long, and I think it affected the season.
Yeah,
I think so too, Rob. I think you know what? I know players always say, and I don't deny it, that hey, so-and-so needs to straighten out his contract thing. We all understand the money thing. But I do think when your quarterback isn't there, it's a different thing.
I agree. Well, JP, we thank you for calling in, and we hate to cut you off, but we got a couple of other people calling in,
No problem.
too. So.
Happy anniversary,
thank you.
Thanks for thinking of me.
And, we always love having JP Pelzman. He is the Rutgers beat writer at the Asbury Park Press. Of course, you're online anywhere. Where do people find you online there?
APP.com.
Okay, and then they do a search on JP Pelzman.
There you go.
He's on Twitter, too.
He's on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
Oh, yeah, on Twiher. JP Pelzman, which is pretty easy to find.
That's pretty easy. Okay, JP, thanks for calling in. Take care, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, JP.
516. Well, no, actually, no, we're not taking phone calls today. We're taking people calling in. You're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC. We're going to have Wallace Matthews on right after this.
Do you like video games, movies, comics, action figures, anything nerdy? Well, have I got a deal for you. Tune in to 90.3 WHPC. Should I do that again?
Just keep going. Just continue.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. for the only radio show that covers all things nerd culture with the two most fantastic hosts in all of the galaxy, Colton Murray and Justin Greenberg. This show is out of this world galaxy. Come on down. Tune in Mondays at 3 p.m. Hey, why did my music stop? I can't do this acting without my music.
The promo's over. Stop talking. Just play the stupid tagline.
Nerdvana, Mondays at 3 p.m.
Cut it and print it. I need an aspirin.
Hey, I have a problem.
What's that?
I'm a student at Nassau Community College, and I know nothing about the school.
You should listen to Nassau Community College Forum.
What's that?
Here's Zach Turkel to explain it to you.
Hi, I'm Zach Turkel, your host for Nassau Community College Forum.
Hey, where did you come from?
Never mind about that. Nassau Community College Forum is a show where you can learn all about the college, its faculty, and its clubs. If you want to dig deep into the nitty-gritty of the college, this is the show for you.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't say anything about digging into the nitty-gritty.
Never mind about that, too. So tune in to Nassau Community College Forum, Thursday afternoons at 3, on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
We're back here on From the Press Box, 90.3 WHPC. Here every Monday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Also on Spreaker.com afterwards as a podcast. I'm Rob Leonard, he's Tim Leonard, and on the phone with us, we love Wallace Matthews. He's currently writing for the New York Times, covering the Yankees. Wallace, welcome back to the show.
Pleasure to be with you guys. What's up?
Hey, it's our third anniversary. We said we got to get Wallace on.
Congratulations. What can I get you as a present? Send you like a cake or something?
A cake's fine, sure.
Cake's all right. Okay.
Maybe some cookies.
Preference?
Some cannolis would be good. I don't know.
Cannolis.
Ask Hal Steinbrenner if he'll custom make a ring for me.
Yeah, I'm sure. He may have a couple extras later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's funny. We're in June right now. The Mets are 9 games out, failing left and right for the wrong reasons.